Hi, this is Joey Picard with Duxbury Youth Lacrosse, and we call this drill the Hamburger Drill. This is a scrimmage-like series of even number matchups in a progression. It's done on full field, and we call it hamburger because by the end of it, the kids' legs feel like ground beef. This is a wonderful running drill and a great way to work your offense and defense, transition and settled. You're going to use a full field for this. You're going to have the cones on the side of the field. You're going to have players divided into two teams. And in this presentation, we have a team with their white pennies and a team with their blue pennies. You're going to have a coach who's going to have the balls. And the way this works is the coach is going to roll out a ground ball to the middle of the field, and a player from each team is going to attempt to pick up the ground ball. Whoever wins, it's going to turn into the offense. The other team has to turn into the defense. And it starts one-on-one, and slowly we add two players at a time, one from each team. So the first time we do this, coach rolls out a ball. The player on the blue team is going to be the one to come up with it. This just turns into a really fun, almost like a Braveheart situation. Race to the cage, best athlete's going to win this. Usually we let it play out as well. And so as you can see, this one-on-one happens with a shot. You can let this play out. You can end after a shot. It's entirely up to you. One of the reasons we call it hamburger is because you can let it play back and forth and really tire them out and have some fun with this. Once you do blow the whistle dead, it is a good idea for the kids to kind of regroup to the middle, one on each side on their defensive end. That's the smartest play. Next, we're going to do 2-on-2. Those kids are staying out there. So we have another ground ball entry, one player from each team going for it. Now, only the players coming onto the field can go for it. We don't allow the players who are existing on the field to make an attempt to pick up the ground ball. They have to stay in their place until possession is called. And again, winning ground ball team gets to keep the ball. The losing ground ball team has to play defense. And it's always even. So in this instance, the white team picks up the ball. Now they're going to be playing 2-on-2 to the cage. They're going to work together as a team. Typically, you're playing man-to-man defense, but things break down very easily, and you still are trying to find ways to create a 2-on-1 situation and hit up the open man. And again, before you roll out the next one, you give the kids an opportunity to regroup. You don't have to. It means for more running and more transition. But to kind of keep things at even keel, we do typically give them a couple of seconds to get into a good spot. Next, we're going to do a 3-on-3. Coach rolls the ground ball out. It's just the players coming in. The white team wins this one again. Now we have ourselves a 3-on-3 situation. My animation is going to stop putting it into the net at this point, but I do want to show you the basic position we're trying to get them in. In this instance, a good triangle is a great option for our offense, and you can see the defensive triangle as well. They're each responsible for a man, but they're also staying pretty tight to the center. Good defense, good offensive setup here. They play that out. They're going to give them a chance to set up, so all 6 of those players are going to stay on the field. We have a new entry, and now we're playing 4-on-4. So the coach rolls the ball out. This time the blue team wins. We'll let this play out a little bit to see the formation that they're going to come into. Typically, we're looking for the blue team on offense with 4 players to somewhat form a diamond. Here you can have a player working behind at X, and you can see how the defense would generally match up in a similar diamond, but sloughed in a little bit. They all have their responsibility. They all have the ball as well. So all 8 of those players are going to stay out there. 2 new players are coming in with the ground ball. We have a 5-on-5 situation. Coach is going to roll out the ground ball. White team's going to win this one. Sometimes it's an easy ground ball win. Sometimes it's a great battle that we're watching. So this is an awesome ground ball drill as well. And essentially, we're going to try to get them into their shape. What we have on offense is almost a 1, 3, and a 1. They have their diamond perimeter and an extra player on the crease. And so the defense is matching up likewise. Typically speaking, when the ball is north of the GLE, the defender who's responsible for the player at X will not cross that GLE until the ball gets back there. So that's why you see him on this side of the goal line extended. But this is, pure settled offense and defense here. Things can change rapidly, especially if you let it play out. If the blue team can come up with the ball, give them a chance to come down on a fast break. By this point, 5-on-5, the kids are absolutely gassed. and the coaches are having a great time. And then finally, if your level calls for 6-on-6, you can definitely have one final iteration of this. This time the blue team's going to get this, and they're all going to work themselves into, whatever you're running your offense with. In this instance, a nice 2-3-1. Here you have a midi triangle. Here you have an attack triangle. And here you have the defense all matching up with their appropriate players. Ball's top right. This is a drill that you can definitely work with goalies if you have them. If not, empty cage, and coach is going to feed from the sideline anyways. And a good idea at this point to kind of reset. If you have more than 12 kids, then new groups are going to come in, give these kids an opportunity to rest. But especially those first 2 kids in on that one-on-one, they are quite literally hamburger leg by the end of this drill. And so for that reason, we love it for the stamina as well as all the great scrimmage and lacrosse that they get to do. And that's hamburger. We like to run this every so often, especially at the end of a practice. Kids have a great time with it, despite the workout. And I highly recommend this drill for kind of even progressions, even settled progressions. If you have any questions, any feedback, if you've seen any variations of this kind of a scrimmage you want to share with me, or simply just check in, I'd love to connect with you at any time. I want to wish you great luck with the lacrosse season, and thanks for watching.